NBA here on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's going to be the Golden State Warriors up against the Denver Nuggets. It's off to Denver we go. Let's get the call by Kevin Harlan alongside analyst Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg.
Somebody bring me.
It's time for some hoops at Pepsi Center, home of the Nuggets, and we're going to bring it to you live on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg. And Steve Kerr going to bring you the NBA right here on 2K Sports. Now, Golden State's starting five. We've got Ellis, and it's Jackson in at the three. And for Denver, they've got Smith, and it's Martin in at the four slot.
You know, last year with the shortened season, I think Denver thought they would have an advantage with the condensed schedule because of all of their youth and their depth. But the injuries really changed everything for George Karl, and they weren't able to take advantage.
Now here's Crawford. Back to Ellis. Feeds to Joedirt. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Ellis the pass to Crawford. Fires from deep. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. And here's Smith. Kicks to Anthony. And the pass to Martin. Back to Anthony. Clock at 6. Puts one up from 19. Warriors with the rebound. Certainly for Denver, their depth as a team was something they wanted, but the injuries did nag at them, and Clark, they weren't able to take advantage, as you said.
Yeah, Danilo got hurt, among others, and they were never really able to take full advantage of their youth. Still, given the turnover they've gone through the last few years, I think they've come out extremely well.
And now, just over a minute played here in the first. Moghetti dishes to Ellis. There's the feed to Joedirt. Back to Ellis. Passes to Joedirt. Gets it to go.
He's a guy that'll take it right into the teeth of the defense. A lot of his points come from inside of 5 feet.
And here are the Nuggets now. Right now, let's find out what head coach George Karl had to say to our Doris. Doris?
Well, guys, in terms of their focus coming into this one, he said he's expecting their defense, especially on the interior, to be vital. He said, we can protect the rim with our shot blocking. Of course, we'd prefer to keep them outside the paint, but that capability to deny finishes certainly could come in handy tonight. Kevin, we'll see if he's right.
Thanks, Doris. And given the scoring talent on the floor, defensive mindedness definitely a key here, guys. Any thoughts?
Well, I agree, Kevin. Playing sound defense has to be their focus. If they can win the battle at that end of the floor, I think they've got a great chance to win.
Well, I agree, because if they don't do that, Steve, what happens at the other end isn't going to matter. It'll be futile.
You know, like a lot of teams that struggled in the NBA, Kevin, the Warriors just could not close out games in the fourth quarter. And that's a fairly common theme among teams that aren't near the top of the standings. There's so much talent in the NBA, but the best teams really clamp down in the last 5 minutes, and they know how to win.
Now here's Anthony. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Jones checked in for Anthony. The Warriors also with a sub. As Abuki's checked in. Well, back to the Warriors, a lot of games ended with tough losses at the end of the fourth, but you could have expected that from such a young team.
Well, a team with a lot of rookies, Kevin, playing heavy minutes, and a first-year head coach in Mark Jackson as well. Not surprising that they played close games and came up short in a number of them.
What a great play to sacrifice his body and take the hit.
Yeah, I thought that was excellent awareness and anticipation to beat him to the spot there.
And the Nuggets making a change here. Balkman's checked in. Now here's Jackson. And Joedirt kicks to Jackson. Over Jones. Jackson, that's good.
Yeah, he's so focused, so concentrated with his effort, and it takes a great defender to bother him. And even then, when you contest the shot, he still has a knack for making it.
And he's very much a student of the game in terms of getting to know the tendencies of whichever player he's guarding on any given night and then gearing his defensive game plan to do what he needs to do to stop him.
Now here's Crawford. Quick move inside, in for the dunk.
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, the D pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
Yes,
you?
sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me, that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
Yes, he did.
That was embarrassing.
And here are the Nuggets now. The Warriors making the shot. That is good.
Well, he can squeeze himself into the box score every now and then.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
Boy, how about that scene a year ago when the Warriors decided to retire Chris Mullin's number, and the team owner, was actually presenting Mullen. He was booed during the ceremony. Very ugly scene and very disappointing from the fans, but you have to understand their frustration too. This is a team that has made the playoffs only once in the last couple of decades.
Now here's Billups. Carter, the pass to Jones. Power down with both hands.
Well, don't get too used to that, fellas. I mean, that kind of dunk is not usually part of what he does.
Well, unless the D plays as soft on him as they did right there.
Yeah, exactly. With defense like that, anything is possible.
Back to that moment you brought up, Steve, it was a tough scene to watch, and really it just seemed like an opportunity for the fans, I think, Clark, to vent more than anything else.
And Kevin, vent they did. But if you're a fan base that has gone through what they have over the past 4 decades, you can empathize with that built-up frustration. Still, it was an unfortunate thing to have happen on what should have been Chris Mullin's night.
The kick out to Billups. Left side, Billups. Left side, Billups. 6 to shoot over Crawford. Billups, no good. Azubuike with the ball. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Got it up. And that's not going to go. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And the Nuggets, guys, what jumps out to you numbers-wise?
And I thought the defense was key here for this club. They really tightened up and made it difficult on their opponent.
How about the help on the drives and rotations? I mean, they've really been in sync as a unit.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And Golden State looking at who they've got. And it's Watson in at the 1 spot. Here's Bellinelli. The Nuggets getting the bucket. Wright dishes to Bellinelli. Leads him in there. Turioff gets it to go.
Terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the hip.
That's how you do it, the bump and the bucket.
And the Warriors making a change here.
You know, one might have thought that the Nuggets' 8-season playoff streak would have come to an end last season. Relatively young team, it changed personnel the year before, but they got to the 6th seed and really made the most of it in that first-round matchup against the Lakers.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Gentlemen, as you know, the dribble drive offense has recently become in vogue. An open offense play style predicated on quickness and outside shooting. It started at the high school level and percolated up through the college, junior college, and so on, reaching Kentucky and Memphis under John Calipari. And now it's reached the NBA. The Denver Nuggets use dribble drive concepts in about 50% of their offense. George Karl saying, it's just trying to get the ball to where the defense has to help, and then teaching the reads. These players like to play with the ball. Now I allow you to play with the ball if you attack the defense. Kevin, a combination of empowerment while requiring that aggressiveness.
Coach Karl always wants his players in attack mode, Doris. Pass, shoot, or drive. Back to the Nuggets, even with that young team we've been talking about, they were able to keep that playoff streak alive with Coach George Karl, and it was like they, Steve, were rebuilding on the fly.
No question. I mean, it's always nice when You have to trade your best player, and you can keep plugging away and make the playoffs right away after that trade. So I thought Denver did a good job of maximizing their assets, and George Karl, as always, did a fantastic job with his club. So they are a perennial postseason contender.
Denver with a platoon swap here on the floor.
I think Denver fared better than most people thought they would last year. They had a lot of injuries, a lot of turmoil, players going to China during the lockout. But, they didn't play that well against their Western Conference opponents, and I think that was a disappointment for George Karl.
Now here's Jones. He's covered by Azubuike. Petro kicks to Jones. Over Azubuike. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. The Warriors have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. And for the Nuggets, Steve, they finished at 22 and 26 within the Western Conference. Not exactly what they had hoped for at, Clark, the start of the season.
Yeah, they did make the playoffs, though, Kevin, but actually had the worst in-conference record of any team playing in the postseason throughout the league, both East and Western Conference considered.
Here's Petro. Takes it right up. Dunked hard with one hand.
That's a beautiful jam by a very unlikely source.
Yeah, you don't think of him as a highlight reel type player.
I should know.
Could have fooled me with that one, though.
Now here's Crawford. Azubuike is screen on Carter. Here's Crawford. No luck. Now the Nuggets take it the other way. Now the dish to Carter. He dishes it to Petro. That's tipped. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Nuggets will retain possession. Both teams deciding to change it up. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Here's Balkman. Good. Balkman's got 4 this quarter.
And I think it goes without saying, guys, but his strength and body control scoring in close, that's what makes him special. You can see it with the shooting percentages inside. I mean, he's a tremendous finisher.
And he is also so good at getting his hands on the ball without fouling when an opposing player is on his way to the hoop. That's a real knack. Excellent hand-eye coordination makes that possible for him.
And that one's good. Right. 1:03 left to play here in the half. Denver in the lead. Phillips with the ball. Picked up by Ellis. Ellis against Phillips. Makes the lead pass. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. Here's Balkman. The Nuggets with another miss. The Warriors have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Wright against Anthony. And Wright kicks to Ellis. Wright sets a screen for Ellis. And he sinks the shot coming off the strong pick. And it's all knotted up.
And the defense really has to pick it up here, guys. They allowed themselves to get picked too easily.
Here's Nene. Got it. Good job in the low post. Nene's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Kevin, they were a step late on their defensive rotation, and that helped them get right to the rim.
Ellis down low. Here's Wright. No good on that last second attempt there. Second quarter ends in a tight one. Nuggets lead.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And it's time to break down the first half of action. I hope you're having a great Friday night so far. A close game at Pepsi Center, the Nuggets battling against Golden State. They've been having their way inside. A huge lead when it comes to points in the paint, making it very hard to defend against them.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. And for the Nuggets, their shooting and offensive execution has been beyond great there. 63% from the floor in this game.
You know, the Warriors just have been one of those teams the last few years that can't close out games on the road, and that was certainly the case for them again last season. I think part of it is not being strong enough defensively.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, DeAndre Jordan, one of the premier shot blockers in the game. He's trying to learn all the tricks of the trade, waiting to jump until after the ball is released. Also, he said, I'm working on blocking to keep the ball in bounds or blocking to a teammate, like Bill Russell did. Guys, there's no question, despite his success, Jordan still has a lot of untapped potential.
Unlimited potential, Doris. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's still rounding out his game. He has all the physical tools you could want, but it's just a matter of continuing to put in the work.
They've got Anthony, and it's Martin in at the four-man position. That's the group for George Karl getting going here in the second half. They get it back. He kicks it to Anthony. Dishes to Billups. Out to Anthony. He passes to Nene. The kick out to Billups. Shot clock at 6. Second shot opportunity. Biedrins grabs the miss. Back to the Warriors on the road. I can think of a few games where the...
How about that basketball, man? Beautiful. Wow. Went for the two-hand throw down there. Needed safety and power.
That's how you do it.
Yep.
No, nothing fancy, but he finished with force.
Special thanks to Sprite for that sweet replay. Now here's Anthony, looking for his first bucket of the game. Back to Martin. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Carving them up inside there, Kevin. I mean, the defense has been vulnerable in there.
Yeah, that's 3 straight field goals in the paint area. That's really good offense.
Gets it to go. Ellis has got 5.
Well, that makes 5 of their last 6 makes coming from inside.
Yeah, really focused on getting the ball into the paint because they're taking advantage of very porous defense down there.
Oh, what a throw down there. Man. We're tearing that roof down with that one.
Yeah, and really a dunk contest dunk that time. Wow.
Yeah, unreal. What a dunk.
Some changes for Golden State. Walkman's checked in, and Jones subbed in for Anthony.
Well, when you think about instant offense, his name comes to mind immediately. Doesn't take much for him to get it going and run off a string of buckets.
And something else everybody loves about him is his ability to do the sensational and spectacular. His dunks simply defied. Description at times.
A different look for Denver. Petro's checked in, and Anthony subbed in for Smith. And the Warriors also making a change. Watson's checked in. Out to Maggette. Over Petro. And again, it's the Warriors missing. The Nuggets have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. And that one's good. Petro's got his second bucket.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball. I mean, everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
Warriors trail by 3.
You know, the interesting story a year ago with Golden State was a promise of season ticket holders that they would make the playoffs. And, you know, I thought it went overboard a little bit because the Warriors team just wasn't quite talented enough to fulfill that promise. And anytime you put yourself out on a limb like that, it can be dangerous. You're now in a vulnerable spot.
Watson, the pass to Ellis. And that's out of bounds. Golden State will retain possession.
A super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score. So that's why he sold out for it and got a hand on it.
Smith checked in for the Nuggets. Crawford dishes to Bellinelli. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target. Bellinelli's got his first points of the game. And to be fair, the Warriors were in a position at one point where they had a chance at the playoffs. game going back some time now, but the injuries just put them out of contention.
Yeah, it really did. And although it derailed them a bit, it showed the value of depth, something the Warriors wanted to address this offseason. And they still have playoff ambitions because of that.
Petro kicks to Anthony. Here is Balkman, fended by Joedirt. In the air, and Balkman gets it to go. Balkman's got 8 points.
Offensively just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
The Nuggets shooting their 3rd free throw shot of the game.
Yeah, they're basically a middle-of-the-road type free throw shooting team, about 76% a year ago.
Ellis with it. And it's Carter picking him up. 1:05 left in the 3rd quarter of the game. Here's Maggette. It's hauled in by the Nuggets.
Some rugged defense there against one of the stronger finishers in the game.
Smith against the...
Now we're cooking with gas, partner. My goodness.
A breathtaking display of aerial supremacy, no doubt.
It's almost unfair, guys. I mean, when you can get up that high, that's crazy.
Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Smith outside from deep three-point range. An absolute bomb from three-point range.
I like that. They ran to the three-point line and got an uncontested look there in transition.
Ellis, the pass to Crawford. Kicks it out to Ellis. Joedirt dishes to Crawford. Ellis outside. Just 5 to shoot. They can't stop the run with that one. Carter kicks to Smith. Smith right side. No good on the buzzer beater. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Here's Crawford. So for the Golden State Warriors right now. And it's Maggette in at the 4. Crawford with the ball. Jones covering. Here's Wright.
Oh, man, that was unreal. Mark it up.
Boy, that's some physical basketball out there. I'm glad I'm not in the middle of that. A hard pick and an assault on the bucket.
Old school stuff there.
Yeah, there was a lot to like on that play.
The Sprite replay really gave you a good look at the action. Back to Billups. Outside, Martin. Kicks it out to Jones. 6 on the shot clock. Crawford with the rebound. Warriors trail by 7. Here's Azubuike. A quick shot there, and it's off target.
I'll tell you what, the mid-range shot is not the easiest one to make, but when you've got daylight like he had there, I mean, those are shots you want to make. That's what we came to see, aggressive, assertive basketball.
He just threw that one down with as much strength as he could muster.
Hey, you got that right, man. Angry dunk.
And it's Wright missing. The Nuggets leading by 9. Billups with the ball, and Crawford picks him up defensively. Plays out the pass to Billups. Pass to Martin. The jump hook. Takes it up. Nene. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Here's Crawford. Rises up and throws it down. Denver calls timeout.
You know, it was kind of an unknown as to what we could expect from the Nuggets last year, Kevin. Mostly a young group that hadn't seen a lot of playoff minutes, but you know what? They came together. There was great team chemistry, and they showed very much to be a team deserving of being in the playoffs.
Anthony's checked in for the Nuggets. Smith comes in for Jones. The Warriors making a switch here. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what George Karl was saying to the team. It was a pretty upbeat huddle. He said, I'll bet they won't take us lightly next time, guys. Clearly, he was aware of their underdog status coming into this basketball game, guys.
All right, Doris, thank you very much.
Rock that rim. Gotta love that enthusiasm, folks.
Not only, Clark, did he rock the rim, he decided to hang around a bit for that one, too. I love it.
What a finish. That was just gorgeous.
Ammonia strong finish right there, partner. You hear me? That was ammonia strong.
Yeah, ripped it down with two hands.
That's about as high percentage as you could get.
And it isn't always easy to have your first-round series against the Lakers, but they didn't back down for a second. Took them to 7 games, Steve, and the 7th game was won in Los Angeles by L.A., but the Nuggets really accounted well for themselves.
They sure did, Kevin, and it looked like they were going to get blown out. They were down 3-1, going to L.A. for Game 5, but they won at Staples Center, then blew out the Lakers in Game 6 before finally falling short in Game 7. But I thought that gave a big boost to a young team like that to be able to play the Lakers all the way to the finish.
This is Kevin Harlan. Reached up high and brought it down hard.
Well, that's how you do the dunk. That's for darn sure.
And that's how you commentate it.
You guys are crazy.
Smith dishes to Klaiza. Moghetti brings the double team. And there's the 3-second violation. Now a timeout called by Golden State.
Looks like he saw some things out there that needed adjusting and wants to talk it over a little bit with his club.
I don't think you can ever go wrong burning a timeout if you see something you don't like and you need to talk about it.
Clark, this offense has really been clicking.
No doubt about it, giving the defense all kinds of trouble.
And they're playing with so much energy offensively. The ball is really moving.
Here's Crawford. Kicks it out to Ellis. Gives him the lead pass. Tries to save it. And that's out of bounds. Golden State will retain possession. Here's Crawford. Right side Jackson. Moghetti outside. Second chance shot. He feeds it to Ellis. Over Klaiza. No good. And it's Denver the other way. And here we go with Anthony running it up the court.
Good foul there defensively. Make him earn 2 points from the line.
I agree with you. I mean, no freebies. Don't give anybody an easy opportunity. Make good use of your foul there.
He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Just making it look easy at the line and making their lead look a little more comfortable, too.
Kicks it out to Ellis. Trying his luck deep, and that one's good.
Well, it took him a long time to get that 3-point range. Maybe this will get him going.
1:16 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Smith. Oh,
Look out.
Nasty, nasty. Whoa.
And that look right there on Clark says it all.
He's not alone, Kevin. Yeah, that was just mean right there.
Crawford with the ball. Now Smith defending. That's good.
Things are finally turning around for him. He's looked pretty good here in this half. Great determination on his part. With the and one, he's now cut it to a 1-possession game.
Crawford kicks to Joedirt. Jumps up. Ellis can't get it to go. Nuggets have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. The Nuggets making a switch here. Nene's checked in, and he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 5-point game.
Those are big free throws, guys, because now it becomes a 2-possession game.
Ellis on top. He's guarded by Billups. Here's Joedirt. It's hauled in by the Nuggets.
You know, his finishing ability leaves a lot to be desired, guys. He needs to take it to the basket stronger.
And he misses the first one. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. Now a timeout called by Golden State. They're losing by 5. 36 seconds left to play in the final quarter. What do you think, guys?
They need to get a quick bucket here. If there's more than 24 seconds left afterwards, they can try for a stop. If there's less, they'll have to foul.
Up with it. Yes! What a beautiful shot to bring them to within 3.
Whoa, that's a big shot right there.
And that one really took the air out of this crowd.
Kevin, the silence is deafening.
Gets the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Second one is good. Getting both at the line, and it's a 5-point game. Timeout called the Warriors. They're behind by 5. 23 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. .23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Ellis left side. Out to Maggette. Crawford outside. Kicks it out to Ellis. From outside the arc, nails the tray.
Ellis.
Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over. They're up by 2. 7 seconds left in the fourth. Joedirt with the steal. Jackson passes to Maggette. Over Nene. So it's the Nuggets taking the W in a close one. It was tight, but they managed to come up with the win.
You know, nobody wants to lose a close game, Kevin. It's much better to win those tight ones.
For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game.
Check out the worthy, he shows no mercy. Then when he's on the court, it just hurts me to watch him dribble, shake, and bake, and take his opponent straight down the lane because he's an all-star.
This is the NBA, and these are the greatest basketball players in the world, as the greatest of the great get together for the 1970 NBA All-Star Game in Philadelphia. Jeff Mullins of the San Francisco Warriors. Lenny Wilkins, player-coach of the Seattle Supersonics.